guys, and happy Homebrew Wednesday. How are you? I hope that everything is well with you. Everything here is very good. It's been an interesting few weeks. Without a doubt, you've seen the videos of the In the Brew House with John Palmer, of course, and the brew day that we had at Ike and Teed brewing up a raw ale, which is right here, actually. First off, this is the white ale, or the raw ale, that we brewed up together. There was a group of us, about 15 of us total, and had a great brew day with John, and yeah, just, you know, you go through the whole process with someone like him, and yeah, it just sort of lightens the whole year, if you will. But yeah, I have not actually tasted this yet. I swear, just pulled it out of the keg. It's been carving up just for a few days now. So let's go ahead and take a crack at it. Cheers. Not too much on the aroma. You know, we didn't hop it too much. It was all just hops that flame out, or there was no flame. It was like bring it up to 80 degrees. Keep it there for a few minutes, throw in a bunch of hops, and hope for the best. And I did dry hop it with 100 grams of Cascade. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive in. Cheers. It was fermented with 4 different strains of Kvike. So I do get some hits of citrus off it, and there's some fruity notes there, which I think is from the yeast, but what I get on the initial palate hit is, I believe, some of the Cascade. There we go. Another beer that I brewed up a few weeks ago, I guess, was a Belgian Wit. This one was based on or inspired by the recipe that was shared with me by Hat Trick, but I did change up the hops on this one, but everything else stayed true. I haven't tasted this one either. Let's go ahead, dive in. Cheers. Nice. Definitely got that Belgian-esque flavor on here. Something I did with this one was using the Bostonia yeast. Yeah, so one of the things I remember, I was watching a video with John talking from The Alchemist, and he was talking about one of their latest wit batches, and he was talking about this Bostonia Belgian yeast. So I went ahead and gave this one a try, and yeah, I'm pretty happy I did. On the aroma, nice light Belgian-esque aroma to it. On the flavor, you get the I get hints of the coriander. Also used sweet and bitter orange peel, and also just a sliver of ginger, just to spice it up a little bit, and I get a little bit of that. So really happy with this. It's really smooth, actually, so all of those notes are just sort of on the back note. And I believe I only used Azacca in this one. Of course, IBUs are probably 25 or less, so it's not about the hops. Those were just to offset the sweetness from the wort, of course. So happy with that one. And finally, a third beer here I did with a friend that lives nearby. He was over here when we were doing a sort of tasting. He wanted to do a brew, so we were going to do a brew together. And we were tasting a bunch of different beers that I had, and I was given Schwartzbier by one of my colleagues, her old colleague, and he enjoyed that one and said that, you know, he wanted to go ahead and brew up Schwartzbier. So that's what this is. It's a black lager. So the aroma on this, it's got that sort of Pilsner sort of aroma with just a hint of roast. Cheers. It's a beautiful black lager. Really liking this one. Nice and smooth, and it just matches the description for a Schwartzbier. You know, it's got that nice light lagery, light-bodied sort of mouthfeel, nice sort of meadowy sort of flavor, and then with just a hint of roast in the notes. So yeah, very cool. So it's been a while since I did a Homebrew Wednesday, and some of the things that have been going on since then, in addition to brewing these beers, I've also brewed up a black IPA. Seems like 'tis the season to brew a black IPA. But I want to give a shout out to the guys on the 17 Crew forums. I went back and I was looking at the site, and I saw some people talking about brewing up a black IPA. It's sort of the 17 Crew black IPA recipe. And so I sort of took it, you know, for what it was. It's a community effort, so I went ahead and made a few comments about you know, what I thought about the recipe, and sort of drew up a couple versions to see what people thought, and people really liked it. So I went ahead and took that recipe and brewed that up last weekend. The brew footage for that, I did take some brew footage, so that should be coming out here pretty shortly. But I did change up a couple things. I had all of the ingredients that we needed, but we're also going to do kind of a 50-50 split, 5% Carafa 3, 5% roasted wheat. And so I didn't actually have any of that. I thought I had some of it because I knew that I had brewed with some of it before, but I didn't have any left in my inventory. So I just, you know what, it was a very simple recipe with just a massive amount of hops, and so I went ahead and just brewed it up without the midnight wheat. So I went ahead and just used the Carafa 3, which is, you know, like the most popular malt to use in order to darken a black IPA. So you don't get any chocolate notes, you don't get any of the roasted notes, you just get the color, and that's kind of what I was totally happy with that. You know, I thought that that would be fine. So there's that change, and I also changed up the yeast. Instead of using 001, I ended up using 007, and yeah, everything's going fine now. It's in the fermenter, going off for a few days now, so everything's good. I got a couple of shout outs. I want to give a shout out to E-Monster, otherwise known as Mark. Mark is from Michigan, and he was on a trip here in Norway a few weeks back with his wife, and they have some Norwegian heritage, so they were checking things out here and traveling around the country a little bit. And he hooked up with me on Facebook, it might have been in the Kvike group. He was asking about getting his hands on some Kvike, so some of the Norwegian farmhouse yeast. And I had some, so I went ahead and sent him a message and said, hey, you know, we can hook up and I'll give you the yeast. And, you know, so we did that. He was kind enough. He came with this guy right here. This is a wheat wine brewed and aged in bourbon barrels. So wheat wine is made in 2015. Let's see here, it's 10% alcohol, 30 IBUs. Again, made in Birmingham, Michigan. So thanks a lot, Mark. I really appreciate this beer. It was a great experience hooking up with you and going out having a couple drinks afterwards. And what was really kind of surprising was after I gave him the Kvike and we went out for a couple drinks, just around the corner from the hotel where we were staying at. And lo and behold, who is there? The guy who wrote the Norwegian Farmhouse Ales book, Lars Marius is his name. So I recognized Lars Marius there, so I went up and introduced myself and said hi and said, you know, thanks for the input that he puts out on Milk the Funk, and of course in the Kvike Facebook group. So that was really cool. Thanks a lot for that. So yeah, being able to hook up with him and meet Lars Marius there. They were actually doing it was a kickoff. It was a tap takeover where the Norwegian brewery here that's most well known for craft beer, Nøgne, was introducing their farmhouse ales using Kvike at this pub that we were visiting. And you know, there was a small group of people there, and Lars Marius was with them. So yeah, what a surprise. It was total coincidence, and it was very fitting. So that was really cool. Also got contacted very recently by another gentleman by the name of Chris out in Colorado, and he asked for some Kvike as well. So I wrapped up a little bit of what I could, about 6 different strains of Kvike, and shipped that off to him. And I got the message yesterday that he received it just after 6 days. So really cool that you were able to get that Kvike in Colorado. So hopefully you guys will be able to put that to work and see how it turns out for you. So that's it, guys. National Homebrewers Day, or National Homebrew Day on Sunday. That was me brewing up the black IPA. Like I already told you, I changed a couple things in the recipe. But yeah, I'm very, very hopeful for that beer, and I'll share it with you when it's ready. So beyond that, I hope you guys are having a hell of a day. Have a hell of a week, and have a better weekend. Cheers.